Hey guys, welcome to today's video. My name is Vienna Lei and I am your local real estate expert in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So today we are going to be talking about pricing, and I did talk a little bit about pricing to my sellers out there in a different video. If you guys want to see more about why pricing is so important, then go ahead and check out that video. I'll go ahead and leave it up here for you guys. But today we are going to be talking about the specific details underpricing versus overpricing. Now, I'm just gonna preface this with ideally, we want to be selling your house at the correct price. And what I mean by that is pricing your home so that it is competitive in the current market. And that is our job as real estate agents, to make sure that your house is priced fairly in the current market so that you get the most views and the most exposure as you can get, while also making sure that you obtain enough money in your pocket when you sell your house. And so that is what we are hired to do. However, today's video, we are actually going to be talking about the extremes and how underpricing a home and how overpricing a home has their pros and cons and how they are affected in each market. So the first one we are going to be talking about is underpricing your home. Now, I feel like I do not have to be any more obvious than just saying that as to why that is a con. Now, keep in mind that I am going to be saying the pros and cons based on how it affects the sellers, not the buyers. This is a seller-oriented video, and so a seller-focused video. So I am going to be focusing on how doing these things affect my sellers. And so underpricing your house, the biggest con, of course, is that you are potentially going to be underselling your home and not getting as much money in your pocket as you should have. Now, obviously, it's like, who wants to be trying to sell their biggest investment at a discounted price? Now, this is only truly utilized kind of between a neutral and a buyer's market, and that is going to be pretty obvious because when you are in a buyer's market, then more than likely you are one of many homes. So how else can you stand out other than the stuff that you've done to the house? And how do you make it so that buyers are more inclined to want to buy your house? One of those things is, unfortunately, underpricing a home. And so if your house has been sitting there and is growing stale, you may have to bump the price down a little bit, which potentially could underprice your home if your home was already priced correctly in the first place or put competitively. Then you may have to resort to that to be sure that you can sell your house. So those are the cons to it. Now, one of the pros I would say to underpricing a home is that because your home is now more affordable to more buyers, you will more than likely stand out and be received by more buyers who could potentially own your home. So more than likely buyers are going to look at your house and be like, wow, what a bargain. I want to go see that house. And if your goal is to get out of your home as quickly as you can, then this is a totally acceptable option. And so underpricing your home so you get more exposure, and so then you get a hopefully competitive market towards your house, then you may luck out and be able to sell your home for what it truly is worth if you get into bidding wars on that. Or, of course, the best case scenario is you'll have more eyes onto your house. And so there are the pros and cons with underpricing your home. Now, it is up to you what you think based on that information, if it's worth it to you or not. The same goes for overpricing your home. And so with overpricing your home, of course, the biggest pro is you will get more money in your pocket if it works. If it works. And so overpricing your home, yes, sounds great, right? You're putting your house out on the market for a lot more than your competitors in your neighborhood. And so if it actually gets offers and closes, and if a buyer actually wants to buy that house for that amount more than your house is actually worth, then great, you have more money in your pocket. You will see overpriced homes happen in both neutral to strong seller markets. And that is pretty obvious, I feel, because in a seller's market, there are not that many homes on the market at all. And so you are going to see already buyers facing bidding wars naturally. And if your home is overpriced, who cares? Because buyers are going to end up looking at your house if they have been on the market enough and they need to get into a house. So overpricing your home is best utilized, if you should utilize it, in a strong seller's market. Now, going into the cons of overpricing a house. Now, I know how tempting it is to overprice and getting more money in your pocket. However, you are risking something else, and that is exposure, as opposed to when you underprice, you get more exposure. And so these things are all pretty much correlating to each other. And so when you overprice your home, you are risking a lot of exposure that you could have gotten if you just priced your home correctly. And so you're not going to get as many buyers looking at your house, depending on how much you're overpriced on it. And not to mention, one of the biggest cons that I see is if your home can even make that appraisal. And so that goes into a whole nother thing where if the buyer has to get financing, and in order to pay for the house that you want to get for it, and it doesn't appraise by the appraiser, then now your buyer can't buy that house because it's overpriced and you're back on the market for who knows how long. And so you're sacrificing time, you're sacrificing exposure, and you're sacrificing just the overall time to just sell the house quicker than you need. And so pricing the home correctly could mean underpricing or overpricing depending on the goal of the seller. However, an agent is meant to be there to advise you so that in order to make those demands as a seller to sell your home, whatever your goals are with that sale, then we will go accordingly to that. Now, pricing correctly could mean underpricing, overpricing, or just straight down the middle, pricing correctly and competitively. And so, knowing these pros and cons, just know that not one is more right than the other. Just know that each three of these pricing strategies are all based on a seller's individual needs. And so, of course, in the future, if you are considering selling your home and you're trying to figure out numbers for your house and you're trying to see how much your house can sell for, of course, seek a real estate agent for advice, and be sure to be transparent with that agent on your goals as a seller, and we will price it correctly for you, as that is our job and we are here to support what you want to do. So that in the end is based on what the sellers want to do. And we as agents cannot tell you what we want to price your house for. That is ultimately your decision. I'm just making this video so that it is clear as to what will help you achieve your goals as a seller. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like real estate content like this one, then go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. I upload real estate content like this every single week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!